So you go to your view command palette. The shortcut is Control Shift P, right? Then you create a project. So what is the purpose of creating project with manifest? This will locate a workspace in your local drive, and you'll get all the metadata structure. The folder structure will get created as a project mapped with your work drive, the workspace. Okay, and you will also have a manifest, the XML file will get created as part of that folder structure. You can use that file for migrating the component. Okay, the manifest. You choose standard, give the name of your project. Hit enter. Then you create a folder. Then you'll get the folder structure here. Yeah. So make sure like you get a force-app main default. So below default, you get all the Salesforce folders, respective folders for components like application or classes. Okay, and we'll have a manifest file below which you'll have a package XML. Right now, the next step is going to be authorizing the Visual Studio Code with your Salesforce org. So again, you go to your command palette and choose the command authorize an org. Okay, and before I do that, you see here there are 4 tabs at the bottom, right? So the problem tab will show any problem occurs in your the module that you create here, the coding, when you save it, no syntax error, anything will appear in the problem tab, like your developer console in your Salesforce org, right? Similarly, you will also get the problem, anything in your program will appear in this problem tab. Okay, and we have a terminal here, right? The terminal will show the command prompt. So what do you have in your command prompt in your OS from Windows? Okay, similar command prompt. So whatever you run here, you will also can also run in the terminal. Okay, so everything is commands. So suppose you hit enter sfdx, you'll see all these are all the commands you can use. The purpose of, for example, the commands. The command itself, command help is also one of the command. So every command that you execute in the command prompt should be prefixed with the word sfdx. You get my point? So every what is this? All this what I'm talking about? sfdx CLI, a set of tools that you install, right? How do you manage your Salesforce org from the command prompt? Right. So now I'm able to see this command inside the Visual Studio Code. How it happens? How it happens? Because of the extension pack that you installed. The extension pack that you installed, uh, you know, make this command accessible inside the Visual Studio Code. So reason we get this all these commands with the sfdx prefix. Okay. So either you go from command prompt entering all the commands manually, or else you can go as a commands which already in the form of drop down list. You can also choose this. Okay. Authorization org, the project, the org URL. It can be a custom domain sometimes. maybe, right? Because every Salesforce org now is basically a custom domain, right? It is no more login.salesforce.com. Okay, so but login.salesforce.com will work for any custom domain. So choose login.salesforce.com, and so this step will open the browser, right? Okay, now, then I just give my user ID password here. To which org you would like to authorize your Visual Studio Code login. So as soon as the org is successfully logged in, you will see the message authorize an org successfully. Okay, right. If you see the output panel here, output tab, what was the actual command we executed through this drop down? I said you can execute the command from the terminal or command prompt, CMD, right? Command prompt, or you choose that command in the form of drop down. You need not recall all the commands manually, right? So if you enter the commands manually in the terminal, what was the command actually executed? You see here the command that actually executed by for authorizing org, for authorizing any org. You know what was the command executed? You see here, force colon authorize colon web colon login, and double hyphen set alias. Then with a space you set your alias name. So this command, if you execute like this, in the command prompt, the same thing will happen. What happened? It will open the browser, then you give the user ID password. You get my point? So all these commands you can also explore. Suppose I would like to explore more about sfdx, sfdx double hyphen help. You get all the commands here. Suppose you like to know about more on the topics. The topics, in the sense, you have a lot of list of commands below each topic. So the topics are categorized with respect to the purpose of the topic, the commands. For example, if you see the force will have all the respective commands related to developing the module. For example, creating the Apex code, creating the Visual Force page, Aura component, LWC, all the commands are grouped under force. So to get to know all the commands below that force topic, so you just enter force double hyphen help. So we have subtopics here: force colon source, force colon arc. So the outer topic, right? The outermost topic, force. Then the next level, analytics, Apex. So if you see this org, the org is will have a list of commands to manage your org. You able to follow this? And the force colon package will have a list of commands to manage, develop, and install the packages. Right? So that's how we can explore the commands when you get time. We don't need to spend too much time on knowing all the commands now. We are making this course somewhat brief. So let us go with the command palette. Okay, so we already authorized. Now the org is appearing now at the bottom, right? So suppose your Visual Studio Code is authorized with n number of org. I can authorize again another org also, right? In that case, what happens if I authorize multiple orgs, but at a time only one org can be authorized as a default org. So what you are seeing here is the org which is currently in a connection with your Visual Studio Code. The alias name what you are seeing. If you click on this, you will get the the org which whatever you authorized. If you authorize 5 different org, you will see the 5 different org here. Okay, so in order to change the org, what you have to do? Just you come and select that particular org, that will set as a default org. Since we have only one org, that being set as a default org. If you have multiple orgs, you can set as a default org by by going in the command, sfdx, yeah, set a default arg. That you can do. Then you can set that arg as a default arg, or else you just go and open the arg. You will able to see that arg is set as a default arg. Okay, is that clear to all of you? So now, okay, and LW and the Visual Studio Code, it's not just for LWC. Visual Studio Code, it is not just for LWC. You create everything you want. For example, if I'm going to create a Apex, create Apex class, name of the class, okay, and hit enter, and choose that default folder, subfolder below the default, right? Every folder is below default only, right? So you choose this, and you'll see the template is being created. Now this a file is being created in your local drive. It is not yet migrated or deployed to your Salesforce org. Of course, the Salesforce org is authorized, but still this a file is in your local folder, right? So you can also explore that by, so where did you look, pointed your workspace, just you see the folder structure, it is in local space. You get my point, all of you? So you either see the class here, okay? So now I just, right, Control S, you can save this. Control S, you can save this. If your file is not saved properly, you'll see a dot, right? Depends upon the UI, the appearance that you set. You will see maybe your by default appearance in your site would be black background color, the white font, maybe, right? So depends upon that, you will see a black spot or a different color spot here. It means the file is not properly saved. So you just save it by shortcut Control S. It's properly saved. Then the file is ready for deployment. You can deploy the file to your Salesforce org, to which org is authorized currently. Okay. So how to deploy it? You just have to right click on the file, keep the cursor right click on the file, and deploy source to org. Am I audible, right? Just want to check.
Yes, Ranjit.
Okay. So now the file is being deployed. Okay. So if you notice here, the command what I we have a command for deployment, right? Everything runs in the form of command only. Not sure it's not appearing. Okay, leave it, ignore it for now. So I deployed it, then I need to check this in my org. You know where to check, right? Either you can check below the Apex class, or else you go to your developer console. See, I'm covering a bit detail sometimes, even small things. Reason Sugandhi is a bit new to Salesforce development. Reason I'm going into some detail for even small things also. Okay, I think it's fine for Muthu and Rajesh. So go open light. Sorry, you go to open and then classes. Then okay. Now the file is deployed. I just change the command. Now I'd like to retrieve this file. I'd like to retrieve this file in my uh, Visual Studio Code. Now currently it is not the modified code, right? Because the code I modified is still in the Salesforce org repository. Okay, it has Salesforce has its own repository. How to pull that, retrieve that module to your local folder? Okay, you just have to right click and retrieve source from org. So this will pull only this particular class, right? If I do this, this will pull only this particular class. Suppose I like to retrieve um, any other modules from my Salesforce org. For example, if you see, I have there are many modules, right? The many modules already there. So how to retrieve all this? Then you'll depend on a package XML, right? You specify the files that you like to migrate, retrieve, deploy, whatever. If you like to deploy the whole, the star, right? It's a very familiar format of, referring all the files, right? So all the Apex pages, all the Visual Force pages, all the Apex figures. So if you have whatever files you have in the local folder, you can deploy to the Salesforce org simply by right click and deploy the whole manifest. Okay, just a brief introduction about how to work with the Visual Studio Code. Okay, so Visual Studio Code is behaving as the coding tool, coding environment, and as well as the migrating component, migrating tool, deployment tool. You migrate, you push to the org and pull the modules from the org, right? Okay, now we'll get into the Visual Studio, LWC code. And I remember yesterday we have discussed about decomposing the component. Just I have word with in the introduction. Of course, we cannot compose uh, RI inside the Visual Studio. Sorry, LWC. RI inside the LWC is not allowed. Okay, so I was under impression it can be done because the communication is possible to and fro, and using LWC LMS channel, it's all possible. Then I was under impression it can also be done, but I never tried it practically. But you are right. I'm sorry. Sometimes we missed it. I'm audible, but you can. Uh,
Yes,
I'm
sir.
audible. Yeah,
Yes, sir.
but you can trust me on the rest of the course. Okay. So sometimes we sleep for silly reasons, but still you can hope on me. I will. Don't be too serious. I will take
Sure,
you
sir. Sure.
to the right
No
track.
problem.
Don't worry.
No problem. Thank you.
No problem. I admit it. Sometimes we do this. So let's go with creating the LWC module. Okay. Uh, so before I get into the LWC, uh, what is the best place to learn the LWC, right? What is the best place to learn the LWC? Of course, we need a documentation to know about uh, the commands, to know about the updates on the the development framework, isn't it? So when you logged in, right, you get a domain, isn't it? Okay, so you just put your domain. Next to that, enter the component reference, the qualifier component reference slash to.app. So next to your domain, not my domain, next to your domain, component reference slash to.app. I just put in a chat window. You get it, right? So now you'll see, yeah, you'll see the complete reference uh, knowledge database. Of course, you can get this through Google also. But what's the advantage when you do like this? Uh, the components, whatever you are going to create in your LWC components that you are going to create in your Visual Studio Code, that will also be available for you to refer below this structure. It will be available after you create it. You'll come to know. Okay, so that is on an advantage, by referring through this URL. Okay, and now this is my reference guide. So there is a category like LWC at the top and R at the bottom. Okay, so LWC and R are more like more like just based on the naming convention, we are going to differ. That's it. It's going to differ. So, but not every component, but the list of components that are showing up here. For example, how to get input from the user. Okay, how to get input from the user. So you'll see the input component for Aura here. So this is a documentation, right? The documentation about Aura input tag. So we have a lightning colon input, isn't it? So the same documentation is also available for lightning web component. So you can see the button here, view as lightning web component. So wherever you see view as lightning web component in this component reference, it means the counterpart, which means the similar component is also available in your lightning web component framework. So you just click on it. Now it is the control is shifted to the lightning web component. You'll see, you can see here. So what is the difference? There are some naming convention difference. Okay, so in your Aura, you refer that component as lightning colon input, but here you are referring to as lightning hyphen input. That's a naming convention you have to follow. Okay, so lightning is nothing but the namespace, right? Lightning is nothing but the namespace. Suppose in your Visual Force coding, we say like apex colon page, apex colon input or input text. What is this? This is a namespace, more or less like a library. A library contains the components like page. The Apex library contains the components like input text, command button, page block. There are many components available in this namespace or library. Okay, so the naming convention what we follow in your LWC. For example, there is a component called lightning colon input. The same component in Aura, the same component in LWC. How you are going to refer this? Going to be hyphen. This is a naming convention you follow. Okay, you get my point, all of you. So this is one of the naming convention you follow. Okay, so you always have a reference here. We'll come back to the reference guide or developer guide then and there to know more about the component that we are developing. Okay, right now let me create a simple LWC component. So how to create LWC component? So go to your command palette and create lightning web component. Okay, so when you name the component, okay, first I'm giving the name for the component, right? As we created a component Apex class, right? We give the name. So I just give a component name as sample example. You see the naming convention what I follow. A lower camel case, right? You know camel case, small and caps mix it up, lower and uppercase mix it up like this. There will be a you just break the word like this, right? A small, and then instead you do like this, you break it because we feel like this is a meaningful breaking, no? Sample example. Suppose we have a employee salary, for example. Okay, then we can break it here, right? Like this, you break and give the naming convention for your LWC. So start with the lowercase like this, and I hit enter, and then choose a library. Right, you see the file is being created. Okay, and forget about this. This is for debugging reason. This folder structure is created. You only focus on no request you to focus on these three files. So the HTML is where you do all your UI, right? So the UI that you are going to build, it's always wrapped inside the template tag. It always going to be wrapped inside a template tag. As you wrap your Visual Force coding inside the which tag? X colon page tag, right? And what is the so you'll have all the codings here, right? You can give the direct HTML tag here. and you can use the visualforce tag here, isn't it? Similarly, for your aura, we have a aura colon component. This is outermost tag, isn't it? Outermost tag. So you can have a HTML here and all the aura components, aura tags. Similarly, for your LWC, we have a template. So inside the template, you can have all the tags here. The HTML tags, you can directly use it inside the aura. For example, I use H1 tag. Okay. Like this. And then you have another file here. The file is JS file. We already discussed yesterday, right? So JS file has these two statements mandatory. These two statements. One is import lightning element from LWC module. Okay. So your class behaves as a parent class. Sorry, child class. Your class behaves as a, I mean the JS class behaves as a child class, which is extends the lightning element from LWC module. Okay, so then the file is we are exporting the file. So export default class, sample class name. It will be automatically the naming convention automatically given by the system. Then you can use this block, right? You can use this block to write your business logic, right? What the logic can be, the logic you are going to build here with the help of modern JavaScript. I think you guys need some session on modern JavaScript, isn't it? I think so, right? So we'll have one session, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we'll have that session later. Not today. We need not. We just covered some basics. But the coding that you're going to do here, this completely open source modern JavaScript. Okay, it is not. It is no more like a Salesforce Lightning specific JavaScript, like your Aura, like your Visualforce. It's going to be a modern JavaScript, the current version, whatever you'll see it in the open source forum, W3 standard, whatever you see there, that you can use it here. Okay, so of course you can also explore the tutorials yourself. Whatever modern JavaScript tutorial you'll see, all these are all applicable here. You can do. We'll walk through that with a demo later. All right. Now, I do not have any reason to do write any business logic here. We'll do it later. And the next is a meta file, right? The meta file determines, the where do you like to deploy this LWC component. The meta file is applicable for every component. For example, the Apex class. But Apex class is just going to be deployed into the org. It is not going to be deployed into any specific page, isn't it? It is a common module, right, which is going to deploy into the org. So it is just necessary to have the tag called active. That's it. Now the class is active, available for to use it in anywhere in the org. It can be deployed. But what happens in the case of LWC? LWC is an UI component, right? It's not your business logic component. It's a UI component. So UI component, you need to specify where do you like to expose it. Okay. The first thing, you have to make it true. It means we are exposing this component. Okay. And then you have to specify the target. Okay. Target means where do you like to deploy this, expose this component. Like in our Aura, we have a interface, right? How do you interface? You implement the interface. Where do you like to expose the component, Aura component? Similarly, we have a target here. The target's going to be a outer tag. So there will be multiple targets, right? So, and there are applicable targets. Each target you can specify within the target, a child tag target. Target is a parent, style tag, and you'll see there is a auto suggested options will appear. Okay, if you choose this, not everything is applicable in the target. Whatever components available in the namespace lightning, now it's appearing. Of course, it's applicable for this particular metadata file. I don't think so it's for common components available in lightning double hyphen that particular component name. Okay, so if you go with the lightning double underscore app page, now this component is exposed to your lightning app builder. Now the component is exposed to your lightning app builder. Okay, let's test this. So the file is not saved, right? Because you're seeing a dot, no, a black dot. Okay, and you have to save the file. Make sure you save every file, right? Because I saved this but not this one, right? Then you keep the cursor on the HTML file, right click and deploy. So what happens now? What happens now? The file is deployed to Salesforce R, and that will be exposed to Lightning app page. There are three types of pages in Lightning, right? What are they? What are the three types of places where you can configure your Lightning components UI? One is going to be your let me go select any application. Okay, sales. So any component you are deploying, right, you are configuring, it can be configured for three different pages. One is a home page. It's a right. It's very important page, right, in Salesforce platform, where the sales representative track the quarterly performance. Right, he can set up the goal and he can track where he is, currently in the opportunity. It's a specific opportunity. How much opportunities value, being closed. How many opportunities are open like that, right? So this is a specific home page. So you can deploy the component here, but this component you cannot deploy. This component is not exposed because this is only exposed to app page. It is not exposed to home page. Okay, so in order to see that, in order to prove that whether it's available here or not, no, you go to, how will you edit the particular page? You go to yeah, you get an edit page option here, right? So click on edit page. This will take you to the Lightning app builder. What is Lightning app builder? The app builder page that you are going to see now. Lightning app builder. You can build the app without any programming, right? You can build the app application like an admin can build. Okay, and you are seeing the section here, right? Standard and custom. So the custom will show up what are the components we have so far deployed into the org. What are the components we have deployed so far into the org? So the components what we deployed is what is that component name? Sample example. It's not available, right? It's not available here below the custom. Okay, which means it is not exposed to home page. Okay, it's only exposed to application page. Okay, so application page is something like a page that you need to create. So right now we have home page and we have a record page. The application page is a page that you can create on your own and you can access that page as a tab. I'll create that page soon. First, let me show you how to expose a component to home page now. Okay, so now target I'm going to change, or I'll skip that target. I give another target now. Home page. Okay, now I deploy. We go a bit slow in the beginning. Right now, I just go and edit Now it should be exposed to Lightning homepage. It is available now, right? So what you guys have to do in order to use this component, place this component, deploy this component as part of your home page. Okay. Earlier it was not available, now it is available. Okay, you just, the cursor is appearing, right? Don't click anything on your mouse or keyboard. You just drag it, okay? Drag it and place where you would like to place. Then you save. Now what happens? I'm saving this, but my default page is the home page where it has only quarterly performance, assistant, and the other components, but not the new component what we place now, right? In order to replace this default page with your page, what you customize now, you need to activate. You get it? You need to activate first. Right. Now the activate bring you another pop-up, right? Now what you have to do? You have to make this page going forward as a default page. You have to choose this. If you don't choose this and close it, you go back and see, you'll see only the, you'll remain seeing the same home page, but not your modified one. Okay. You have to go with assign as arc default. You can ignore it. Save this. Now I go with the new tab just to confirm. Of course, it is deployed. Because of background color, it's not. Maybe I can paste it here. You will be able to see. You get my point? Now the component is deployed. So there is a one page I deployed. What is another page we can see? The record page. Record page in the sense, which is record page actually? The individual record detail page, right? So it's a record page of account, and this is a record page of contact, right? So we have a record page for any of your standard and custom object. Most of your standard object, like opportunity, product, price book, lead, isn't it? So suppose I like to place that component somewhere here, or somewhere here. How to do that? You go to settings, go to your Lightning App Builder, and you locate this component. The component is not available, right? You know the reason, right? Because the target is still pointing to app page and home page. App page you will see at the end. So now I'm going to give a target for record page. Okay. You'll see the record page here. So save this, right click, and you can right click here as well. But normally I do, because sometimes HTML deploy from HTML will deploy all the module, updated module. Sometimes the Visual Studio behave weird actually. We just go from HTML and right click and deploy. Okay. Right now, so how to see that now we are in the record page, right? You just refresh and see. Right now, sample. Yeah, drag and drop anywhere you want. Yeah, save again. How to make this field as a default page? Activate and assign as arc default. Next and save. That's it. You get it? You get it now? Okay. So there are two pages we have seen, right? App page, home page. Three pages inside the Lightning experience. What is Lightning experience? The interface what you are seeing is Lightning experience. What is the other interface we have in Salesforce? Salesforce Classic, right? So where do you place the Lightning component or Aura component inside the Lightning experience? There are three places, right? App page, record page, home page. There is one more page introduced. I think it's not necessary to know. These three places you need to know. So what is, we have seen this record page, home page. What is app page? App page, we create it newly now. Okay, we are going to create it newly. So go to your setup home, setup. You go to your Lightning app builder. The Lightning app builder you can also access from setup home also. The new page that you like to create, you can go from here. The existing page you can edit, right? Existing page you'd like to configure, you can edit. The new page you like to create, you can create any type of page. Even home page you can create, record page you can create. Now I'm going to create app page, right? So all these are all different types of pages we have in the org already. App page, a record page and all. Okay, I'm going to create an app page, something like this. Click new. Yeah, you'll see, right? I told that there is one more additional page, and these three are more important pages you need to know. App page, next, and the name that you are giving is going to appear as a tab. The app page is more like your tab name. The app page name that you are giving is more like the tab name that you are giving. Okay, it's an application page. That's it. Next, and how the template of your application page. What is the form factor? Whether it's I mean the component, the form structure. You have a top component like this. Your left sidebar component, a detail component, right? If you have if you are creating a page, where you have a link, like your Amazon, no? You have a left, all the categories appearing on the left side. You click on that category, you get the detail. Similar type of pages you are building, then choose this template. Okay, for our demo purpose, I go with this type of template now. Finish. Okay, then you'll see the app page is created. Now I can place my component, drag and drop it anywhere I want, right? Then save and activate. So what activate will bring? Where do you like to place this tab? Right, it's an app page. App page is became like a tab, right? Where do you like to place it? So go to Lightning Experience. Yes, you like to add that app that you created. What is the app name that we created? Sample. Okay, you're going to add this to Lightning application. I'm sorry, these are all Lightning application. The tab, the app page that you created is sample example. Where do you like to place this? Okay, so I'm placing it now for now in the sales application. Then you select and choose add page to app, right? And you'll see as soon as I click on it, it is by default appearing as a tab next to the home tab. Of course, you can adjust this, right? And say, I believe it will appear on the sales application now. Okay, maybe it needs to be activated, I believe. Activation, Lightning experience, mobile navigation. It's already added, no? Hold on. Sales, yeah, save. Okay. Okay. Yeah. The thing is, maybe you should have provide access to system administrator. Okay. So right. Let's save this for now and go back. Sales. So go to here. Go here. Go here. Okay. Add more items. And to see all the tabs, including custom, standard, or app page, click on allow. And then look for this and click add. Right now it is here. Maybe you can drag and keep it anywhere you want. Mm. It is available now, right? So then click on this, you'll see the app page is created. Okay, so three types of three places inside the lightning experience you can place your LWC component, right? And right now I just going to create one more component now. We do some changes on the JS now. Okay, so JS we'll try to use now. Now we just created a component with just one HTML component. Okay, so HTML you can directly use it anywhere between template. Let me create one more LWC component. Yeah, you know, right? The component needs to have a target. So I just copy and replace the whole thing. For as a beginner, if you like to familiar with the target, you type everything on your own. Don't copy paste. For to save the time, I'm just doing copy paste. Now I'm going to declare a variable here. Okay. I just give some name called say like this, for example, and I initialize this with my name like this. So this is just a variable declaration syntax of modern JavaScript. Just you don't need to declare it, whether it's a string or name, or it depends upon the value that you are going to store. It behave like a that particular type. Now it's became a string type. Now how to refer this property? We call them as a property in JavaScript. Okay, the property here, you just have to go with braces and refer that property name. That's it. It is not necessary you go with colon or anything. Get my point? Right. Now with this we can wind up the session for today. You can create it and deploy and test all these three pages. Then let me know if it works for you. You take this an exercise, create one component and deploy it in three different pages: app page, record page, home page, and see the output, whether you're able to see the value name in your UI. You get my point, all of you? Okay. What I do, I just create a folder structure today and share the exercise and everything for you to access. Fine.
Sure.
Ranjit, one thing,
Yeah.
I will be not
Yes.
available for next 2 days, Wednesday and Thursday.
Will that fine for you if I continue with the content, or what do you think? We'll wait for. Uh,
We will
let
take
me
the other's
discuss.
opinion.
Yeah, let me discuss later. Maybe I will connect with you over phone also, all of you.
Okay.
Time. Yeah. Okay then. Carry on. Thanks. Bye.
Ranjit, the recording you will be sharing in the Google Drive
Sure, I will
website.
share. I'll work on that. I'll share definitely.
Okay. Also, please share the Google Drive link if you have shared yesterday. I missed it.
I'm going to put in Zogo Drive and share from there for videos and other things. Okay, notes, everything.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Don't worry, you'll get organized document
Sure.
everything day by day.
Sure. Sure. Sure.
Okay then. Yeah. Thanks all of you. Bye. See you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.